triage to Parkland Hospital.
Got something. It's the president. He's coming in.
November the 22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy assassinated in Dallas, Texas. Now, on the eve of the 50th anniversary of his death, comes a new film co-produced by Tom Hanks, which tells the story of that fateful day, not through the principals, but the ordinary individuals caught up in the action, including the staff at Parkland Hospital, where the president was taken. The director thought this approach was a novel way of retelling the historic events of the day.
You know, when we think of the Kennedy assassination, we don't think of where he went after he was shot, where he went to die. And it was just the way into a story that, the side of the story that we'd never seen before. We never think about those things.
There he is!
A key character featured in the film is Dallas businessman Abraham Zapruder, portrayed by Paul Giamatti, who happened to be shooting the presidential motorcade with his home movie camera at the very instant the bullets were fired. The images he obtained with his camera were, to say the least, very dramatic.
Well, I suppose he captured the kind of the first time you've seen somebody at that level of power die. I mean, you know, you're actually watching somebody be murdered who happens to be one of the most significant figures on the planet. So, you know, nobody had ever seen that before.
We had him! And we could have stopped him!
The film also portrays the frustration of law enforcement personnel that the man charged with killing the president, Lee Harvey Oswald, had been within their grasp prior to the assassination. It also shows the reaction of Oswald's mother, Marguerite, and brother, Robert, played by Jackie Weaver and James Badge Dale. The mother comes across as delusional.
Lee Harvey Oswald has done more for his country than any other living human being.
She was an unusual woman, and she did say some extraordinary things, like, my son has done more for his country than any other living human being, and he should be buried at Arlington Cemetery with President Kennedy. She was obviously not in touch.
The film has its young stars. Zac Efron plays one of the doctors. People his age weren't alive at the time of the JFK assassination, but Jackie Weaver, who is old enough to remember the day Kennedy was killed, thinks young people will embrace this film.
I think they will identify with this more than stories that are about the Kennedy family, because all of the characters are identifiable. They're ordinary background characters, the doctors, the nurses, the plodding policeman.
The president scheduled 2 speeches.
We're going to be okay here?
Oh yeah, it's a good program.
Parkland is one of numerous commemorative entertainments on offer to mark the forthcoming anniversary of the president's death. Some people might say that this is an entertainment trying to cash in on the 50th anniversary of JFK's assassination. Well, what would your response be to that?
To cash in the context of art, whether it's a painting or a novel, is just saying some artist, some writer used a story, used a real event and turned it into a story, which is all that we did. Schindler's List, Deer Hunter, these are all great movies that used real events to tell an important, honestly raw story. I don't want to get trapped into the exploitation thing. It's like, I think this film does the opposite.
Just picked up somebody in Oak Cliff. They think he's the shooter.
The Dallas police just announced...
The film has had a polarizing effect. Some critics abhor the picture, complaining it is vapid, and seeing Jackie Weaver's performance as too out there, that she comes too close to caricature. But there's also a camp that endorses Parkland, viewing it as fine, compelling, gripping cinema. A film well shot that very effectively tells the story of a group of individuals unexpectedly caught up in one of the worst days in US history.